Hello and welcome back to another video on City Start Guide. This is where I will go through in depth on the city plot itself and how to basically maximize your city. A bit of tips and tricks that you can take from here based on a couple of cities I've played throughout the years. And hopefully as a beginner or maybe just as a recap, you guys could maximize how you want to make sure that you can get the city out running very quickly. So we have covered last round of frontier fields. You can check on the top right. I will put like a card. Okay, and let's go into Pioneer Plains today. Alright, so let's look at Pioneer Plains. Okay, so I just loaded just to make sure I have cache as well. So first thing you can see about the land is basically very flat except the corners right here. So you can see the corner a bit of a raise up here, which is fine. A little bit raised up here, but it's not so bad, but it's still basically flat. And you have one entrance at the corner, right in the middle of the city here at the corner, and you have rail which you need to extend basically out from the corner that you can access. Okay, so now one of the things that you immediately see is that there's no access to the river, so that means that your water table is going to be dry out very quickly. Now of course initially you have a lot of water around here, okay, but you gotta make sure that you're able to replenish it very quickly, because once you place down a water pumping station at any of these areas, it will immediately dry out very quickly in a couple of cycles, day and nighttime cycles. So maybe around 5 to 8, right, which basically would be the time when you start to build everything up. My water run dry. Okay, so with this kind of city where you cannot place any ferry terminals, of course, because there's no river, you need to make sure that you place your sewage treatment plant. Okay, as I mentioned in the previous videos, okay, you can actually have your sewage treatment plants in area where you don't have much water table here. Eventually, this whole area here will be filled up with water after it's been treated and pumped back into the water table. You can actually place your water pump beside it, and this basically means that you get unlimited water supply throughout the entire entire time you're playing with this city plot. Okay, that's for water. So just take note the water placement of where it is, and obviously your water placement here, where the water table is, would be sort of dictated and affected by where your industry is. Okay, so with the wind here, you can see that most of your industries will be normally placed. Let's just go to this way, just let it. You normally place it at the corner, okay? And if you now overlay a little bit on where the water placement where the water is, right? This area here will be polluted quite immediately. So when you're placing a bit of your water, you gotta make sure that you place most likely on this side of the city, towards like the left side here, depending which orientation you're seeing. Okay, you will need to place your water towers or water pumping stations away from where your industry is, and since based on wind, you sort of dictate where the industry is, you place it on the left side. Okay, now come back to industry and the placement of residential. So where you see the wind, you normally like to place the industries away towards the end of the wind. So mentioned in previous video. So you can see that I would recommend to place industries on the far end of the wind direction. Okay, the tail end. Okay, now towards the back here where the head of the wind starts, you can place your residential here, and it's ideal for high wealth residents as well. Okay, so this is something to think about. Now let's look into some of the minerals that's deposited right here. So there's no coal available here. Okay, so you don't need to worry about coal. There's no ore as well, so you don't need to worry about that. So you cannot actually do much about mining. So if you try actually to access this coal and ore, sometimes you cannot access it because there is none available. Okay, so obviously I've employed places right now because of sandbox, I could do that, but in some of the maps you cannot even access any of this. Okay, so you won't have that in mind, but I believe I have a lot of oil right here. Okay, so now again, this is one of the cities where it's an ideal map to run an all industrial, all tycoon. Okay, And that's because, right, the amount of oil required to um, basically extract needs to be high to access the petroleum HQ. Okay, so you can literally place plentiful of oil here, okay, in order to extract that out. Okay, now if we combine all together, you'll notice a couple of things that you can or cannot do. Okay, firstly, if we look at the wind, all right, the wind is actually blowing it towards from left to right, and you can see that the oil wells are placed on the left here, which is an issue. If we section it off right here, you will basically want to keep any residential away from the area where the wind is blowing towards. Okay, that's one. Now, another issue you're going to have is that if you see the water table, is basically right on top of the oil. So I'm going to toggle between oil and water, oil and water. So means your area that you would need to place your water pumping station is only limited to the corner left here. Okay. Now, there's a little bit of a cheat code, I would say, is that let's say you still wanted to place, a water pumping station around here. For example, for all reasons you want to place that, okay, you can still place the water pumping station here, but you need to place filtration pump, okay. And basically, what the filtration pump does is that it would basically pump out any liquid that is present underneath the ground, whether it is a clean water or if it's a contaminated water. So you can see here, if there's a ground pollution around here, okay, your water here will turn polluted, but because of the filtration pump, it will convert polluted water to clean water. So that's a tip you can use if you like, okay. But generally speaking, most of you would basically play without water pumping station because that's probably much late game situation. So to start off, I would say recommend you to basically keep the water on the left side because your oil industry will be affecting it. Now, if you don't do any oil specialization, which is fine, you can place water anywhere you want. But if you want to do any oil, then you only have an area you can plot, which is right here for water, because your corner right here is going to be industry, which is going to pollute the water table already. Okay, the middle, if you can place industry as well, but the problem is that you're going to have a lot of contamination here, and any ground pollution will again affect the residential zone, residents. Basically, they'll be more sick and you have any issues with high wealth as well. Okay, so toggling again, the wind, you got the oil and the water. So you can see that based on this, you can sort of see you will probably have to dedicate the left side here for industry mainly, okay, and then the right side here basically for all your residential as well. Okay, one last bit here is that with rail, you can actually place your rail right at the end of the map here if you like, or you can actually have it like basically run into the city. Okay, now playing rail in this map, you can do a few methods. You can actually have your casino in the corner right here, or you can have an amusement park with road connection towards the right side here, and basically your access by train towards the corner right here. Okay, so if I bring up by example amusement park, let me see if we can get it up right here. Okay, so you can have an amusement park at the corner right here. You can have another one basically right at the corner right here. So let me see if I can bring that up. Right now I should have all the access I need. Okay, I'm just going to load that straight in here for example. Okay, let's see. Not this one, good. Okay, so you can see I can now have two access roads basically. So you allow them to come in from outside and also through train access as well. So this is something you can think about. Okay, so I hope you like this video as well, to give you a very good idea, sort of a guide from my side on how you want to plan your whole city from the beginning. Okay, if you like this video, do give a like, and then do check out my other videos I do for the other cities, as well as any abandoned cities that I've actually recovered. You should see some of the videos and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.